Hi everybody, it's Aluna Michaels, Esoteric Astrologer. How are you doing? Okay, so I'm here to talk to you about events of November 2015. Okay, let's see, where am I going to start? Okay, something cool is, let's start with the easier stuff. We've got, of course, the sun is in Scorpio because it's November. The sign of Mercury is also in Scorpio. And that's just nice when the sun and Mercury are together because it's like, people are able to say what they mean easier, Mercury's communication and stuff like that. What's going to happen on the 11th is we've got a new moon, which the sun and moon are the same. And so the sun, moon, and Mercury are all going to be together. So that adds even more dimension to that new moon, in that you can really know, because Scorpio is about the depths of your desires and what you really want in life, whether that's spiritual growth or a new career situation, relationship, being able to overcome something in yourself is Scorpio. So that new moon is like planning something that might normally intimidate you or feel like it's a real challenge. And so you can make those plans or feel like, yeah, I can do that. At the same time, so we've got sun, moon, Mercury. The planet Jupiter is going to be making what's called a sextile. It's a 60-degree angle to those three planets. And Jupiter is about ease and flow, optimism. So it just even can be people helping you. So that's also happening at the same time as that new moon around the 11th of November. So it's a great time to be able to, again, set those new goals and like, yeah, we can do it, Even if you don't have Scorpio in your chart, it's just happening in the sky. So that's a good time to make those kinds of plans. And again, something that's challenging to you. Okay, then let's talk about this because this is interesting. First, I'm going to talk about Venus because it's easier. Okay, so the planet Venus is, it starts out in Virgo, but on the 9th, Jupiter goes into Libra, and on the 20th of November, it's an interesting day. Venus is going to make a square to Pluto. Pluto's in Capricorn, so it's a 90-degree angle. And this is just a small thing, but there's some other stuff going on, so it might make it seem bigger. So that Venus is relationships, and Pluto can be power struggles. So it can be issues around even money, too, because Venus is money, but kind of like people working out problems or feeling like what is really valuable to me, even if it is difficult to strive for it, especially because we've just had that new moon in Scorpio about like, yeah, I can try, It might be almost like in Unity, they call it the second force, like you say yes, and then something in the universe is like, really? Or no, and you say yes and push that off you, kind of like the rocket wants to go out of the atmosphere and then encounters gravity, which says, are you sure you want to go out of your comfort zone? So that Venus-Pluto can be, are you sure you really want that, Or it can be people that actually get in your way of things, of having what you want. More likely it's probably going to be an internal thing you may encounter. The other thing is Venus will also oppose Uranus, and that's going to be on the 23rd. So this Venus and Uranus, Venus wants to bond, Uranus wants to be free. Venus is kind of safe, and although it wants to have comfort, that's why it's sort of safety, Uranus is like, whatever. So when you combine those things, it can be, making kind of impulsive decisions about relationships that might not really be good for you, or decisions with money, like spending impulsively. And the idea of Pluto a few days before squaring Venus can bring up sort of compulsions about like being comfortable at any cost. Like, we're getting close to the holidays. So say you're, with that new moon, you think, I'm going to eat well, I'm going to respect my body. And then Venus-Pluto was like, I want to give into the compulsion to eat. And you're mad at yourself for just kind of winging it with the Pluto and Uranus there working with Venus. So that can be something. Okay, there can also be some stuff with relationships, and it's just frick-frack, it doesn't have to be major stuff, but making sure you don't maybe blow things out of proportion because with the holidays coming, people can get that way. Okay, so now I want to overlap something onto that, which is, if you remember back at the end of September, we had an eclipse. Everyone was really into it. It was in, here it was at night in the Eastern time, but it was like a blood moon. It was this whole energy around that. Well, that was a powerful full eclipse. Full eclipse, total eclipse. That's what I want to say. At a full moon, and the sun was at 4 degrees of Libra when that happened. The moon was 4 degrees of Aries. So since we've had that, actually Mercury was retrograde and it hit 4 degrees Libra, then it went direct and hit 4 degrees Libra. That was in October. Now Mars has moved into Libra. The Venus hitting it's not so big of a deal, but that Mars is, because it was a moon in Aries, and that's Mars is linked to Aries, so it kind of like reminds us of the eclipse. And in a way, it can be a closure to all that stuff that's been going on since the end of September. I have a lot of clients like, what's going on? They feel like they don't know what they want, or feel kind of confused or weird. And so we're really coming out of that time period. So the in that new moon that we're having on the 11th is like, yeah, I do know what I want. And then that Venus stuff, Venus, Pluto stuff, Venus, Uranus can be, well, maybe I don't. And then there's that Mars coming out of the eclipse point. And yes, I do. So it's like your most clear desires and being able to see the way clearly and do what you need to do ultimately. But it's kind of like an internal wrestling going on. So the 20th is the day that Mars hits that eclipse point. So it can be a good day also to meditate, or even if it's like a yoga practice type meditation, because Mars is very active. But you can have some revelations or ideas or breakthroughs, or make some decisions, or things can just happen that help you move ahead. So that's good right there. So it's kind of like a little mix those few days, the 20th, 23rd in there, but ultimately shaking out really well, especially if you're really honest with yourself about what you really want. Okay, so the other thing going on is the planet Neptune is moving direct, and that's on the 18th. You all know about Mercury retrograde, which happens 3 times a year for 3 weeks at a time. But Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, the outer planets, they go retrograde once a year and direct once a year. So it's nice that Neptune's going direct, because Neptune can be about confusion anyway. And then when it's retrograde, oh, what? So having it go forward, again, this is at that same time of the Mars hitting the eclipse point. It's like, yes, I know what I want, and I can get more clear. I don't feel so foggy, or don't feel unsure about telling people what I want, And also because it's Neptune in Pisces, which Neptune stays in the sign for 14 years, by the way, so that'll be a repeat over the months and years I'm talking about it. But Pisces is really idealistic, and so is Neptune, because Neptune and Pisces are linked together in astrology. But it's like, even if it seems really idealistic or really far-fetched or something, it's like, I can really accomplish that. I can live my dreams, and not to be ashamed of that or feel like, well, it'll never happen. Why am I even hoping for it? But it can. So there's, again, a reassertion of like, I can have my highest dreams. And so sticking with yourself when you're wrestling with the why you can't have it, or all that, whatever, even if there are outer naysayers of people saying things or giving you a hard time, it's like, yes, I can, keeping that dream alive kind of thing. So then that being said, as Neptune moves forward, when we go into Thanksgiving, like the few days before and after Thanksgiving, the planets Mercury and the Sun will make a square, which is a hard angle to Neptune. And that can just be, a lack of communication or lack of clear communication. It may be something as silly as someone brings 2 cranberry sauces to the Thanksgiving dinner or something. Oh, I thought you were bringing pie. Oh, no, we both bought the sauce or something. But it can just be just having compassion and understanding people can be part of that. And if you're watching this, you probably are on more of a spiritual path and have more maybe tools of spiritual growth at your disposal and use them. And other people don't. Other people are buffeted around a lot more. So they might have been having a harder time with some of this stuff that they've gone through since the end of September, since that eclipse, and feel more frustrated. And maybe using that time to be able to cheer some of those people up, or remind them of possibilities or how far they've come or things like that if people are feeling discouraged. Because if you could feel annoyed with some people at that time too about, oh, they're bringing me down or something, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, they're just feeling locked in their own stuff. And if I give them that message about unlimited possibilities in the universe, or again, strengths they have they may have forgotten about, or progress they've made that they're downplaying, that could really help flow more with other people. So that's November. And again, it's like keeping all that energy of the Scorpio new moon with Mercury there and the Jupiter. It's like you can do it, you know. You know, I think of one of Obama's slogans, like "Yes, we can." You know, it's just kind of whether you like Obama or not. It's just yes, you can. Yes, you can achieve these dreams. Move the obstacles in yourself. Confront your limitations. Blah blah blah. So keeping optimistic throughout that, and then sharing that optimism with others. So, anyways, that's what I have to say. And my website is alunamichaels.com. I have my ebook on there if you like, with the spiritual gifts of the 12 signs. You can email me about an appointment or connect with me through YouTube here. And I hope you have a wonderful November. Bye for now, and I'll see you in December.